let's have a look at how that played out.
It's been a big week. So Fraser Anning, of course, made his speech yesterday. There was a pretty remarkable moment in the House of Representatives. What do you think was the significance of what occurred yesterday?
From our point of view, being able to, there'd been so much focus, so much anger, so many people upset about some words that have been said, and I think it's important from time to time to be able to actually go, well, you know what, one, we're bigger than this. Two, we actually do find moments where we can get on, and hopefully people can take something out of that in the broader community.
And I think the Parliament was set a test and it passed with flying colours. It was great to see the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition reach across the political divide and be united with a single voice. And Ed's speech in particular was really, really genuine and moving and heartfelt. And I think everyone who was in the chamber will remember it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And the two of you reached across.
Well, I was getting cold at that time, so I didn't know.
I was very impressed with the spontaneity of what happened yesterday. So the speech was given on the night before, without any artifice, without any long-term planning, no sense of, who was going to be up and who was going to be down, like the usual stuff in Parliament. It was just very much a spontaneous reaction by Labor and Liberal to say, look, we're not going to put up with this anymore.
Absolutely, and you saw the reaction across both sides of the chamber, where people did feel that this was a moment where we had to, effectively speak as one on that. And I thought, and you're absolutely right, the spontaneity of it, I think, made it even more significant because people knew that this wasn't something that was being put on.
It was a natural reaction.
They were speaking from here.
Well, what unites us is much greater than what divides us. And in this particular area, we have to show leadership because the community will fracture, it will divide. There will be a problem with cohesion unless leaders show what is right and speak out against the type of things that Fraser Anning was articulating in the Parliament.
So you're a Jewish Australian Member of Parliament, you're a Muslim Australian Member of Parliament.
The first Muslim Australian.
Yeah, you two have seemed to work out your relationship pretty well. Does it surprise you in 2018 that we're still having these debates?
Yes, it really does. Growing up, no one really took... they never noticed, they never really pointed out, in terms of your respective faiths. It was something that, okay, you do that, it's something different, but it was never on the basis that you wanted to exclude people or shut people out. And it was just a part of who you were. And now, and I get that the big turning point was 9/11, absolutely, and that caused a lot of people, one, obviously the fear issue, two, the bigger issue about whether or not people, particularly from the Muslim faith, and in terms of modern democracies, would this be something that, were they compatible? And we do have to go through a difficult, we have to have that conversation. It is important, but not to the extent that it dominates so far that, people feel like they're shut out and excluded. But having said that, it would be nice at some point that, the conversation could actually, okay, we're done with it, let's move on and just do our living.
As Anne Ali said yesterday, she was tired of having to fight.
It was very heartfelt, that conversation.
I'd like to think yesterday was a turning point, but I don't think we can guarantee that, because what I think is in society, there will still be these issues. People will raise their racist views, and it's always up to leaders to speak out against it and the media to shine a spotlight on it. And I think if we continue to do that, then the greater good will prevail, and certainly tolerance and harmony in Australia's amazing multicultural history and proud immigration background will come to the fore.
So let's speak about that. I mean, we do have a particular brand of multiculturalism, and we like to say, and I think it's right to say that when we do multiculturalism as well, there is no one in the world who does it better. How do you see the sort of particular style of multiculturalism in Australia?
Well, I think we maintain the backgrounds from the countries in where we come, and whether that's language or culture. But we also subscribe to what we consider to be Australian values, the idea of a fair go, equality before the law, equal treatment for men and women. They're the things that are fundamental to our society and to being a decent, law-abiding democracy. So whether it's going to Caulfield in Melbourne and seeing the Jewish community there, or Victoria Street with the Vietnamese community, or Drummond Street with the Italian community, there are certainly areas of Melbourne where ethnic groups have made a mark, but at the same time, that has enhanced our society as opposed to creating enclaves and being divisive in any way.
I guess the other thing is too, it's you don't have to leave your past at the door. You know, you can still remember where you came from, and then recognise too, for the people that wonder, okay, well, yeah, you don't have to leave your past at the door, but do you recognise where you are now, and this is somewhere where you celebrate as home? And I think people do. I think people, and one of the things I wanted to convey yesterday was that debt of gratitude, that people feel like they can lead a new life.
You did it beautifully.
Yeah, and that they can do well, and that they're grateful for the chance to do that. I think it's an important thing that sometimes gets overlooked, that people are so happy that they've had, they've come from different parts of the world where either economic security or their physical security has always been endangered. And here, if they commit to working in the broader community, they've got the space to do well for themselves.
The irony of the speech that has set off this latest debate about division in the community is it's actually doing the work of those people who want to divide the community and hurt the community. It's remarkable to me that that particular senator couldn't see what he's actually done to the community. He says he's trying to protect.
And his term final solution was so abhorrent because of what it represents, the darkest chapter in human history. And there's been an enormous number of Holocaust survivors who have made their way to Australia, more than 30,000 in the wake of the Second World War.
I think it's the most outside Israel.
Yeah, it's extremely high number, and they went to the capital cities and they've prospered, but they certainly haven't forgotten the fears and the pain that they incurred. And that's why Fraser Anning should go and visit a Holocaust museum and hear firsthand from the survivors, because they're not going to be around for much longer.
Yeah. And I think your call in relation to that was particularly pertinent. We've run out of time, but this is quite a good experiment.
I don't think we'll do it again.
You don't think we have other politics?
Sharing these.
But if you
maybe not. But
if you both get a cold one week, we're happy to take it on.
Can I just say I'm stunned? That's very uncharacteristic. I was only here for the T-shirt.
Well, can I say...
We're very low budget. We don't even have Sky mugs.
Or mugs. But can I... So Josh, Ed, these are two of the real gentlemen of the Parliament. Thank you very much for joining us on Pyne.
And thank you for what you did yesterday. It was really important.
Thanks for having us on, guys.